Hello and welcome to another episode of the Daily Breakthrough. I am your host, Kwame Kuadey. So, if you're an entrepreneur and you've been neglecting your personal brand, this episode is for you. I want to give you 3 reasons why building your personal brand is one of the ways to build a resilient business. So, let me get into it. There are 3 main reasons why I always encourage entrepreneurs to build their personal brand. And most of the time, the people that I encounter that are resistant the most to building their personal brand is those entrepreneurs that feel like their career is in a good place. Their business is in a good place. They spend years building this business and they don't feel the need to be the face of the brand because everything is going well. So why mess with something that is working? Well, building your personal brand is not about messing with something that's working. It's about fortifying something that is working to make sure that it's more resilient business going into the future. So that's what I want to explain. So the first reason why every entrepreneur should build a personal brand is that it's a way to really separate yourself from the competition. So think about it this way. If you have a customer that is looking to do business with you, one of the biggest things they are looking for is trust. Who do I trust to give my business to? Especially if they are moving from another vendor or another product or service and coming to you. It's about trust. So if you are, so if they're looking at 2 companies and they're comparing 2 companies, you and another competitor, and you have a strong personal brand where you've built yourself as an authority and an expert in your space, and you're considered a thought leader in your industry, you are more likely to be the person that this person is going to go to. Because why? You've built that trust, you know what you're talking about, and if you have authority in your industry and you're an expert, people like to go to experts. People like to do business with people who they think knows what they're doing. So this is a very, very high return on investment way to actually differentiate yourself from the competition, because by being an authority, you are implicitly putting yourself in a position to have an edge over another business owner that does not have that online presence and that authority in the industry. And also in moments of crisis, when your industry is in turmoil or the economy is in turmoil, people want to go to people who are trustworthy, people who know what they are talking about. They don't want to take chances. So when you come across, if you are the people that everybody goes to as an expert in your space, if you are one of the leading voices in your space, clients or customers are more likely to stick with you or come to you because you've shown that expertise and knowledge and you've provided value to them in other ways that makes them feel confident that you are the person they need to do business with. So that's reason number 1, is an edge over your competition. Reason number 2 is that when you have a big online presence, when you've built your personal brand and you have your authority and credibility, it's much easier to pivot your business. Every business goes through periods of challenges and adversity. Every industry is constantly changing. So you may find yourself in a situation where your industry is changing and you have to change with it. And sometimes you have to pivot in a completely different direction so that you can survive. If you have an audience that you've built, if you have a following, if you have credibility, if you're a thought leader, it's much easier to pivot your business because, one, you are the leader, so you are setting the pace. So people look at you, and if you're heading in a different direction, your customers are more likely to go with you because they trust you, because they know that you know what you're doing. And if you are headed that way, they'll rather go with you. Second, if you're pivoting, it's easier when you have an audience because you can interact with them in a very, very different way, because you can go to them and explain what's happening, regain their trust about what you're doing, and refortify that relationship because you have that with them already. You're already offering them a lot of value on a regular basis. They're getting a lot out of you outside of your product or service. So you are somebody that they trust and connect with. So if you're heading in a different direction, they are willing to go with you because they trust you and they believe in you. So that's number 2. Number 3 is for you, the business owner yourself. There's going to come a time, there's going to come to a certain period in your journey as an entrepreneur where you want to go do something else. Your business, you've been there, done that. Your business is successful. You've taken it as far as you can take it, or you're just tapped out and it's been a long journey and you want something different. And what happens is that a lot of entrepreneurs, sell their business, or they pivot, or they bring in equity investors, or they partially, sell a portion of their business, and they're looking for the next thing, but they struggle to find the next thing because it feels like starting from zero. Well, if you've spent the time to build your brand, build authority and credibility, you have a following, it's easier to start something new because you already have a following that knows you, they trust you, you've given them value, and so they're interested in everything that you're doing. And if you've come up with something new, or you want to head in a different direction, or you're pivoting, or you know, your business journey is moving in a different phase, they want to come along for the ride. And so it's easier to start a new product or service or a business when you have a following that you've cultivated for a long time. So those are the 3 reasons why every entrepreneur needs to build a personal brand. Now, there's a host of things that I could talk about regarding this, and I'll probably record a longer podcast on my main podcast, the Breakthrough Podcast, and talk about this in much, much, much detail. But this is the clip note version of it, and I wanted to offer it in a short video that allows you to get some things to ponder about why sitting on the sidelines and not building your personal brand is a disadvantage to you, the business owner, and to your business. So until the next time, keep pushing forward.